I'm so excited that you made it back to our pre-K and TK classroom. We have another wonderful day of learning planned for you today. My name is Miss Lara. Hello. I'm going to be your teacher today. So let's start off with introductions. That's where you tell me your name. Try to say it in a monster voice. Are you ready? When I put my hand to my ear, I want to hear you say your name in a monster voice. And I'm going to try to catch your special letter and make it right here. Here we go. Oh, I heard so many names, but I think that the letter that I caught is a really, really special one. At least I think so. Let's see. You'll need a big line down and a little line across. What letter have I made? The letter L, that's right, ooh. The L says ooh, the L says ooh. Every letter makes a sound, the L says ooh, like Laura. That's why I picked it, I think. All right, so this week we are learning about fairy tales. And today is day 2 of the 5 days that we're going to be together. So let me add another magnet to our 10 frame right below the first one. There you are, 2. And then we'll sing our fairy tale song. My favorite part is when we have to kiss the frog. Are you ready? Here we go. Once upon a time, in a land so far away, a princess kissed a frog. Mwah! Well, that just made his day. Far across the town, Red Riding Hood took fright. Ah! She found a wolf in Granny's clothes when she told her good night. Oh, fairy tales, we read them every day. Oh, what fun it is to hear how Goldilocks got away. Hey, fairy tales, full of joy and laughter. Do you know how this one ends? Why, it's happily ever after. Ooh, I love singing songs with you. Are you ready to try to guess what our mystery book is about today? We know it's a fairy tale, and we know that fairy tales involve magic and usually start with once upon a time and end with happily ever after. And they usually always have a lesson that they're trying to teach us. So keep that in mind as you're trying to predict or guess what our book is about. So let's see what Miss Maria left for us today, our mail person. Here it is. Oh, yay, more words. So 1, 2, 3, 4 words. The first one is countryside. Countryside. Can you say that with me? Countryside are areas that are not in cities and they have lots of farms. So where I live here in Fresno, there are lots of farms all around us. Is it like that where you live? Do you live in the countryside or a city? The next word is swap. Swap. Have you heard that word before? It means giving or taking one thing in return for another. So I put a picture of a block and a ball because if you're in a classroom or playing in the park, maybe you want to swap out something that someone else is playing with something you have in your hands. The third word is disgust. Can you say that? Disgust. Ugh. That has a funny face with it, huh? Disgust. It means a strong feeling of dislike. Like I disgust broccoli with lemon. All right, the last word is gigantic. Gigantic means extremely large or great. And here is a clue about the character in the book that we're going to read. He's hovering over the trees. Who could it be? Let's take a look. Our fairy tale for the day is da-da-da-da, Jack and the Beanstalk. And look, we have a gigantic person right here and a hen, and this must be Jack running away. He looks very surprised and very, very eager to get away. Let's see what this book is about. Here we go. Are these hearts? Patterned hearts? What could they be? Wait a minute, I've seen this shape. It's a bean. A bean, huh? Jack and the Beanstalk. Deep in the countryside lived a widow and her son, Jack. Their cottage was crumbling and their clothes were patched. They were very, very, very poor. So look, their clothes had holes in them and they had to put patches to keep them from being see-through. Look, there's Jack. One day, Jack's mother said, "We must sell our cow. Take her to the market, Jack, and bring home some gold pieces." And so Jack set off to town. Now look at Jack. I don't know if you can see. He looks rather sad. It looks like he's about to cry. Oh, I hope this isn't one of those sad fairy tales. But before Jack had gotten very far, he met a strange little man. "That's a fine cow," the man said. "I'll swap you 5 magic beans for her." "Magic beans?" said Jack. Are they really magic?" There he is wondering, scratching his head. Magic beans, have you ever heard of such a thing? "Magic they are, or chop off my beard and knit it into a jumper," said the little old man. Look at his long beard. Magic beans. Jack couldn't wait to tell his mother. He clutched them tightly and ran all the way home. He's so excited he's going to tell his mother. I'm sure his mother's going to love the magic beans. Oh, I don't know. Looking at the pictures for clues, it looks like she's furious or angry. Let's read and find out. Sure enough, Jack's mother was furious. "We need money, not useless old beans," she cried, and she threw them out of the window in disgust. There he is. I think Jack feels a little ashamed. There they go, out the window, out the window. But late that night, a tiny bean sprout poked out from the ground. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew. And the next morning, the beanstalk stretched high into the sky. "The beans were magic," Jack cried. "But what is at the top?" So I have to ask you a question at home. If you saw a magic beanstalk, would you be brave enough to climb it? Jack climbed up the beanstalk. At last, he reached the very top. There, shimmering in the sunlight, was... Ooh, I think you're gonna like what it is. Look. A magnificent castle. Just then, Jack's stomach rumbled. "I must find some breakfast," he thought, and he tapped on the castle door. The door creaked open, and a huge scientist smiled down. "Hello," Jack said. "Please, do you have any food?" Jack is very brave. If I saw a giantess, I don't know, I think I would run. "Oh, you poor thing," said the giantess. "Come right in, but quickly, before the giant gets up." Oh, look. Look at, he's having a delicious, delicious meal. There was an enormous loaf of bread and a gigantic jar of jelly. Jack dug in all at once. Look at him, that's huge. It's like the size of a house. But suddenly, the room began to shake. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my goodness, cried the giantess. He's coming. And she shoved Jack under a teacup to hide. There he is. I bet he's frightened. He might even be shivering. Into the room stomped a big, scary, hungry giant. Oh no! And he said, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead. I don't want to say this part. I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Oh no. Don't be silly, said the giantess. There's no one here but us. Now go and wash before breakfast. So look, there's Jack under the teacup. What's going to happen? Jack trembled. Can you tremble at home? That means to shake. I must leave now, he thought. He was halfway down the hall when he heard a squawk, squawk. It's the hen. It was a hen with a bright golden feather. Look at all of his feathers. Help, help, she clucked. Set me free and I'll lay you golden eggs every morning. Jack scooped up the hen, but then he heard huge footsteps thundering after them. Oh no, he has the hen. Now the hen's making a lot of noise and there's footsteps coming. It's the giant! And he's gonna say, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. And there he is. Jack raced out of the door. He jumped, whoo, and slid, whee, down the beanstalk, down, down, all the way back to his cottage. Mother, quick, bring the axe, he shouted. There's the mother. There he is with the golden hen. Will he escape? Jack's mother swung the axe at the beanstalk. Thwack! It shuddered and shook, and then the giant came tumbling down. Fee, fi, fo, oh, 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 crash! And that was the end of the giant. Jack hugged his mother tight. Look what I found, he said, and he showed her the golden hen. Oh, Jack, said his mother, I'm so glad you're safe, and you were right about those magic beans. So Jack, his mother, and the golden hen all lived happily ever after, and with lots of golden eggs, they were never poor again. Look, there's the mom enjoying her pool, and even the hen has sunglasses on. They are living life. The end. So what did you think of this story, adapted by Mara Alperin and illustrated by Mark Chambers? Did you like the story of Jack and the Beanstalk? It was very suspenseful, wasn't it? I didn't know if Jack was going to make it. Now I encourage you to check out other versions of this story as well. So right now, we're going to play a little fun game called Save Jack from the Giant. See right here, there's a huge beanstalk, and Jack needs to climb the beanstalk to get away from the giant. But he needs to make a ladder with things that start with the letter B. So let's help him make a ladder to climb up the beanstalk. Let's see if we can find some things that start with B. What is this? Do you remember from the story? The old woman, the mother, had patches on her clothing. This is a patch. Let's think about that beginning sound. P, p. No, it doesn't say B like B. All right, how about cow? K, k, k. No, it doesn't say B like B. How about bean? B, bean. Yes, that's one. So I'm going to put it right here so we can start climbing. How about this? Do you recognize it? It's a beanstalk. Beanstalk. That's right, it says B at the beginning. It says B at the beginning. So let's put it over here so we can make a little ladder. Oh, he just needs one more thing that starts with a B. Let's see. How about this? It's an axe. Ah. Does it say B at the beginning? No. That would be backs. That's a silly word, just made up. How about this? A hen. Hen. No, it doesn't say B. In fact, it was that silly hen that got Jack caught, wasn't it? How about this? It is hair that grows on your face. It's a B. Beard. B. B. Does that say B at the beginning? It does. Okay, let's put it up here. Let's see if Jack can make it all the way up the castle without the giant so he can steal that hen again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, there he is. Now he is the king of the castle. All right, are you ready to hear about our project? Well, today's project is going to be something that you can use to recreate the story and retell it at home. So let's go over to our project place and I'll let you know what materials we'll need. So here we go. I'm so excited for this one because you have to use your imagination to retell the story. So we're going to make a giant beanstalk and we're going to put clouds and a castle on top so that we can pretend that we're Jack climbing up the beanstalk or maybe cutting it down so the giant doesn't get us. The materials that you'll need for this are a paper plate, some glue, scissors, some tape. You're going to need an old paper towel roll and some green paper, maybe some of these pipe cleaners so that you can make something to decorate your beanstalk with, and some cotton balls and some green paint like I mentioned. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel roll and you're going to paint it green because this is going to be our beanstalk, and you'll notice that it stands up on its own. Really good for pretend play. So I'm going to open up my paint jar here and I'm going to paint it. Now I know what you're thinking, Miss Laura, what if I don't have paints at home? Can I still do this project? Of course you can. You have to use your imagination, maybe get some markers. Do you have some green paper that you can use? I always tell you about magazine cutouts. So you can cut out some things that are green from magazines or newspapers that you get free in the mail, and you can glue those on, or you can just pretend and say, ooh, I forgot to water my beanstalk. It's a little bit brown, but that's okay. Just like Miss Laura's plants at home. We just make it work. Okay, so you're gonna paint the whole thing green. And it's a curved object, so you kind of have to keep rotating it as you're painting it, see? It's not the kind of project where you can just paint all at once. And lucky for me, I thought ahead and said, this is not gonna dry in time to show you the next step. So I have one here that's ready to go. Here's what my beanstalk looks like. Now we get to decorate it with leaves and vines. So I'm gonna take my green piece of paper and I'm gonna cut out leaf shapes. Now if you don't know what a leaf looks like, go outside of your house and do an observation, which means you're just gonna look closely at something. Go see what a leaf looks like by your house on a tree. Maybe right now, they're just starting to come out and they're just starting to turn green. Maybe you'll see a bud and want to include that. And you're gonna take your tape and you're just gonna tape on your leaves. I'm just gonna put my tape on the back of my leaf like this and put it right on there. Look, there it is. Ooh, it's starting to look more and more like a beanstalk. I'm getting excited to play. Do you ever get excited to play? And then you have to do not fun things like, ooh, I don't know, go take a nap. Or maybe you have to go clean your room. Boo, I just want to play. So there's more leaves. Maybe we'll add a few more, maybe some at the bottom. Now we have to make our leaves extra big because the beanstalk is extra big, isn't it? The one we're creating. Okay, here's the tape right on the back. And And I'm gonna put one here at the bottom. Right there. Oop. Let's see, the tape is showing a little bit, so I'm gonna fix that. Remember, sometimes we don't get things right on the first try, and it's okay to go back and fix things. There it is. Ooh, I'm loving my beanstalk. Next, we're gonna take some of these pipe cleaners, if you have any, and we're gonna wrap them around the beanstalk. These are gonna be our vines, because if you go back and look at the pictures in the story, the beanstalk has a lot of vines, and my guess is that is what Jack used to climb it, because I don't think you could hold on to leaves. They're not very sturdy or strong, are they? And then you just kind of wrap it around, and you can use a piece of tape, again, to keep it in place. I'm using masking tape, but you can use whatever tape you have. And maybe get creative. Use the green paper to make your vines if you don't have pipe cleaners. All right, here's our beanstalk that Jack is gonna climb up. Next, we need our clouds. Now, if I put these cotton balls right on top, what do you think would happen? It's hollow. Yeah, they wouldn't stay, huh? They would just go down to the bottom. And we don't want clouds on the ground. That's silly. So we're gonna take a paper plate, and this is gonna be our sky that we're gonna put clouds on. So we're gonna flip it over like this, and we're gonna tape it to the beanstalk. Now there's lots of different ways that you can tape it, but I just take it and then just kind of put it on one end and then put it down to the other end of the paper plate like an L for Laura. Ooh, keep bringing that up. Okay, my special letter. There's something about seeing your special letter that makes you feel so special, loved. All right, there we go, one more. And then I'll show you how to glue on your cloud so we can see the finished product. Okay, there we go. Next, we're gonna put our clouds on top. Now, I just took some plain old cotton balls and I'm just gonna kind of stretch them out like this so they look more cloud-like, and take some glue and then put them right on my plate like this. So it looks like a cloud, like that. I'm gonna take a few more and just put them right on there. And then I'll show you the very last step, which is a lot of fun because it goes with our crown. Can you guess what it is? A castle, that's right. That's where royalty lives. I wish I lived in a castle. Wouldn't that be fun? I'd invite all of you guys over. I'd say, friends from PBS, come to my castle. We'll have a royal feast. What would we eat? Chocolate pudding from yesterday's story. I'm still wanting some of that. So I'll show you in just a minute what I'm cutting here. I am cutting out a little coloring page that I found online of a castle, but of course you can draw your own. And that is gonna go right on top of my beanstalk. So I'm just making sure to leave a little part down here because we're actually gonna fold it. This might be too big of a part. Now, if you have time, which I don't have a lot of right now, you can actually color in your castle any way you'd like. So a dark castle, mysterious one, or bright pink or blue castle. So once you have your castle cut out, whether you drew it or printed it, you're gonna wanna fold it like this. Just leave a little lip like this, and that's actually what you're going to glue or tape. I'm gonna glue it to the top of your sky. All right, here we go. There's my castle. There, now we have our castle in the sky with our beanstalk, and we can pretend that Jack is gonna climb up the beanstalk and go to the castle, or that we're the giant saying, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Oh, I'm glad I'm not English. That would be bad. I hope that you try this project out at home, and I hope that you retell the story with whoever is around you that loves to listen to you read. I know I do. So I want to encourage you to come back next time because we have more fairy tales that we're going to explore. Maybe one with a big bad wolf and a Red Riding Hood. Would that be fun? All right, boys and girls, remember Miss Lara sends you a big smooch and a big squeeze and reminds you to read fairy tales, any kinds of books, play with things like this, and of course use your imagination every single day. All right, we'll see you again next time. Goodbye. Goodbye, boys and girls.